This one's called Flying. Çekerim vaftizi vago Tengere tızı cızı vago Denciden denza gözü vago Derin gözü vago I don't really believe in magic. However, life is somewhat incredible. Whatever it is that controls it. Perhaps there's no control in it. You know, I found one problem. If you focus on creating stuff too much, it's somewhat difficult to learn anything, you know. For the past few days, I've really, I think I've been getting just dumber and dumber. I haven't really learned anything at all. You know, all I've been doing is, you know, making these little weird videos, you know, and, you know, positioning myself as some kind of an alien over Earth, which, you know, to some extent I'm trying to get away from. It's really unfortunate, you know, that you can't really be everything at the same time. For instance, if I choose to spend my time learning to play this, it's time spent not doing something else. I mean, it's a basic fact for everybody, but you know, fuck it. I mean, it's I don't know. I don't quite. I haven't yet learned how to approach all of this stuff in some kind of a more intellectual way, you know. You know, what's bothering me might just be like some kind of deep sense of I think being human is not very easy, but you know, I've noticed that, you know, whenever I try to express myself, you know, talking is also an expression. In ways other than talking, it seems that talking becomes just absolutely impossible. be honest, I don't really believe in. Honestly, I don't really believe in music. It's more like a habit. That I just return to for whatever reason. Every now and then I play these pseudo 60s songs or whatever. I was really obsessed with psychedelic rock for a while, and you might say that okay, it's already been written. There's only so many songs you can just play using the fireplace chord, so to speak, and that's perhaps true. I'm really trying to be some kind of a rationalist recently, disregarding empirical data, so to speak, at all, totally. It's to some extent, I think it's a habit of mine, really. To be honest, I'm profoundly lost. I really am. I have many ideas about how to move forward and what to do, but that's probably the case with everybody. But I'm using this as some sort of it's a parasocial thing, really. So if you're watching this, then well, thank you. If you're not, then thank you as well, I suppose. I think I just wanna get over this boundary. I do have some. I have a lot of friends, but we don't really talk ever. It seems like at some point I think there just comes a point where the primary goal of any interaction really is money, and all these infantile emotions or whatever it is I'm expressing now, for instance, it becomes there's no more place for that, for a while I had developed some kind of oh no. I had developed a framework for dealing with it. Which was, I decided that I'm gonna be some kind of freedom fighter, I'm gonna advocate for various essentially fight against all kinds of inequalities. But then I found out that most of them are, well, it seems to me that the core of all of it is financially determined, you know. The system is essentially now it's about workers' rights and economic equality, you know, what opportunity rather. I really don't know much about anything. And the more I play, the less aware I become, you know. It's kind of a shame actually, because I mean, of course I could be just practicing right now and let's say reading some article or whatever. Or also you might say, oh, what the fuck, bro? Or what the fuck, you don't know what to do with your life, just go out there, just fucking find a better job, get married, yeah. Isn't that weird though? So here we are, a bit more close and personal. What can we talk about? I really hope you still can hear me, and I hope the popping doesn't bother you too much. Perhaps it does, but I just threw in my pop filter. Maybe this will work better. So now I have an amplified version of this. Alright. So here's a painting I made a couple days ago. Probably can't see what it's about. It's essentially a fretboard pattern represented in a similar way to this. See, this for instance would be a pattern for well, you can view it in different ways. This could be a pattern which would contain major scale, starting with the seventh degree. Let's say B, C, and D. D is in the middle. You see, meaning that essentially it's the center of major scale, which I think it's would be an interesting, good alternative way of teaching it, music theory, you know. At least in my mind. Yeah, I think I like this format far more. I just unfortunately I became not a performer in a musical sense. I haven't played a gig in a long time. I don't know how to do it, and if I was to do it, it would just be, I think, self-referential and like a parody. Yes, I really can't explain why I even put myself into this situation, you know. My plan on quitting school was to just get my set list together and go and play gigs, you know, essentially. But I never did that. I guess I went to just a way too hard way. I think you might even, perhaps it's better to see my face. How do you like it? You know, I think I might call this the Cosmic Afternoon or something like that. Alright. You know, you might ask me, what the fuck are you offering? You know, what's the point of this? You know, what are you, what do you get out of this? You know, what do we get out of this? Well, and I can't really answer you. I think it's just a pathetic attempt at the parasocial relationship forming. And as much as I would act as if it's not the case, I am a bit lonely, I guess. But only if I think about it, you know. Only if I think about it. Because if I just push it away and don't, you know, then it's not a problem. You know, human relationships, it's just, it's so complicated. It's incredibly complicated, and you know, I can only applaud the people who are fluent, you know, in the language, that sort of language, you know. Hats off, right? It's impressive. You know, I think I might just return to actually creating some kind of an object, you know. Perhaps creating object is more useful than creating information, after all, because you can you know, if you do create objects, I mean, you have the possibility of selling them, right? And what I've been doing lately is just, I think, wasting my time. It's kind of unfortunate because, you know, I have all these ideas floating around in my head, but all of them require all of them take time, and I think I'm losing track of what projects I've even started and which I haven't started. And for instance, the podcast, you know, I made multiple episodes, but at some point I decided that it's not suitable for publishing. But I'm gonna publish it anyways. I just think I'm gonna publish it here because, you know, the alternative, I failed to overcome the weird feeling that I had developed, you know, which is, you know, at some point I was convinced of the idea that the thing that's really holding you back, actually, in fact, is your social urges, really, you know, because you can do so many things in life. It's incredible. But unfortunately, many of us are very afraid to do them, you know, for the sole reason that you are afraid of how people might react to it. At least in my case, you know, that's why I don't play gigs, you know. That's why I quit school. That's why I broke up the band. You know, it's all comes back to this question of social, I guess, acceptability or something like that. Perhaps I should just paint my mustache really green or something like that, maybe, you know. I don't know, it's just terrible, you know. It's sort of like social anxiety or whatever you want to call it. It's I mean, I'd rather. I think, but I think it's universal. I think it is, unless, of course, it's probably less of an issue for people who have really conform. Who have chosen to really, dig into the mainstream mindset, so to speak. Just. Who have studied and perfected their act, which is something that I haven't really done, and haven't done deliberately, unfortunately. But that's the trade-off. If you want to be an individual, if you want to be unique in some way, well, you have to. By setting yourself apart, you set yourself apart, and that's just the case of it, Also, there's probably, I don't know, I have been thinking about what's the likelihood of this blowing up, so to speak, or whatever, Okay, the things that I think I have in my side of the team, of the playing field is, okay, it might be unique, I mean, I'm wearing some weird clothing. I don't know whether any of this is interesting, though. But I really don't know. And even then, if that does happen, what then, I mean, I would probably just go with it and see what happens, It's just, I think it can be done. But once again, it's again a question of conforming. Are you willing to do what has to be done in order to succeed, or are you? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've had the most peace, and I've had the best time creating stuff when I just saw it as something that might not succeed within my lifetime, but it would perhaps be regarded as something useful after I'm dead, I've been thinking about that a lot, and I think it's it gives me some kind of a hope, really. I probably wouldn't appreciate all this stuff just getting lost somewhere. It wouldn't be cool, but at the same time, I don't trust. I don't think. I don't know. I think I'm not a very good person, though, and I don't really. I don't think I like people too much, unfortunately. I actually do like people, but I like people when I'm with people. When I'm not with people, I don't like people. I think that's the way it goes. All right, what else? Well, I've got this. I really like this kind of form of unconscious painting, so to speak. In Taoist approach, like I think I made this 2 years ago, 3 perhaps. I don't know if you can see it, but to me at least, it probably does look like some kind of a portrait. It was done absolutely unconsciously, meaning that I never thought about what I was doing. I just kind of made it. What is art? Why do art? I'm not an artist by any means. I always feel like an imposter doing any of this. I see myself as a guitar player. Spent such a long time playing guitar, but at some point I don't know. It seemed like a dead end to me. You know what's funny? To be honest, most things feel like a dead end. But there are some things that don't. Perhaps I should just focus on those. Honestly, maybe that's my own self trying to tell me something. And I really hope this audio works. I really do. You know, maybe that's my own self trying to tell me something. See, it's like divergent thinking or whatever, you know. I'm really fond of it. And it takes a lot of effort of trying to like think convergently, I suppose it's called, in a straight path, you know. Really sounds like some kind of a radio broadcaster speaking through speakerphone, speaking through, I don't know. In Latin it's called ratia. I don't know how it's called. Those small, you know what I'm talking about. Regardless, you know, people have told me that I'm kind of spaced out or something like that. And also I've heard things about living in reality, you know. Oh, and I've been somewhat confused about what they mean, you know, when they say that. I understand the spaced out idea, because, you know, I am mostly lost in thought. I think I found a better way of handling this issue of pop filter. Regardless, I am lost in thought quite a lot, and I think that's what contributes to the spaced out persona, so to speak. However, living in reality, well, that's a bit puzzling, though. But I have different theories about it. One is that perhaps, which I had some time ago, is that perhaps it's about, you know, this like actually I stole the idea from David Graeber. It's about you know, bureaucratic structures creating reality. You know, doing paperwork, that's work, and doing things that are not paperwork isn't counted as real work, you know, office work at least. But well, in the way I put it, it sounds like rubbish. Another theory I have is that it's about I think it's about mating in some way, and it's about resource accumulation, you know, which is something I haven't been focusing you know, on directly. Although I can't say that I am completely put myself in the corner here. Essentially, resource accumulation, right? And there are many ways of doing it, and probably creating stuff like this and it's not considered the classical way of doing it. Regardless, you know, I think it will be fine. Thank you.